have you ever felt like giving up? Holy. Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. Nathaly Rhea here and welcome to today's video. For today's video, I am doing a Q&A. I asked you guys on Instagram to ask me questions about being a military wife and living abroad. As you guys know, I am in Germany, and the reason why I wanted to do this is because it has officially been 365 days since I've been living here in Germany. Where does time go? Like, it's been one entire year, meaning I have 2 years left. It is absolutely mind-blowing. We actually got here on, what month are we in? November. I don't know why I forgot that. So I thought, what better way to do a life update 1-year anniversary living in Germany than to sit with you guys and answering some of your guys' questions. Before we continue, if you're not subscribed, make sure to subscribe down below right now. Also, make sure you click that little notification bell button. Wow, I haven't done this in a very long time, so you guys don't miss out from any of my upcoming new videos. And if you would like to follow me on Instagram at Nathaly Rhea, that's how you can find me. So first question is, new army wife here. Does it get easier? I am sorry to say this, but I believe it does not get easier. A long time ago, I was convinced that if I had a baby, I will no longer feel lonely and, you know, life would just be easier. But I wasn't thinking about if I'm struggling myself now. I mean, can you imagine just having your baby and your husband being deployed and, you know, you being sick or your baby being sick and you have to go to the clinic or ER? You know, it's nice to have someone there. So knowing that you're not going to have any family members there to help you, or the first few days of taking care of a baby can be really hard. And I know a lot of people actually do this, but I bet it is ridiculously hard. I mean, come on, you're not going to have your mom there to help out. Babysitters, you're pretty much going to be leaving your babies to strangers just because there's no family members to take care of your baby. So that is why I believe it does not get easier. This next one is going to be, what are things that you do from feeling lonely and from feeling homesick? Well, let's just put this out there that I am homesick 24/7. I would say the only time that I don't feel homesick is when Phoenix and I are in a new country or in a new city and we're at the bar, you know, enjoying the view, and I'm just like, okay, this is nice. But for the other 90% of the time, I am homesick, and I feel like the only thing that helps me is the outdoors. The air quality here is amazing. A lot of people don't ever talk about the air quality in all of these different places, but the air quality here is bomb. I know, it's weird, but that's literally what helps me. Something that I actually tend to do is walk to the old town graph. There's a park right there, and I play Pokemon Go. I feel like it's a distraction to me, so I go to the park, walk around, catch a few Pokemon. But the park is actually really neat. It's walking distance, so again, with the fresh air. And there's also like a little water pond thing going on, and then the waterfall, which just cuts out all of the street noise and all you hear is the water, so that definitely helps me. This next one is it difficult being Latino in Germany? Honestly, I think it depends on how Latino you are. For myself, I think it's difficult AF for many reasons, but one, I feel like you don't really realize what you have until it's gone. So not being able to find all of my Hispanic products that I need to cook is difficult. Not being able to drive down the street to get some bomb tacos is difficult. We do have one Tex-Mex grill, Tortuga, but it doesn't really give me those vibes. It almost feels like I'm in Arriba Mexican grill back in the States, and I mean, there's nothing really special about those places. And also a huge part about being Latino is all the family get-togethers. Like, when am I ever gonna have that here? Never. So that's where I find it difficult. And then I do have those days where I start listening to Mexican music all day and I drink, because it's kind of what reminds me of being Mexican, about being myself, about being Latino. Anxiety, question mark. Absolutely. I don't think I have ever dealt with anxiety as much as I have dealt with it since being here. It's not Germany per se, it is living on base. As much as I love how convenient it is to live on base, to be able to walk to the Shoppette, PX commissary, post office, bank, clinic, etc. Like, that's all good, but what gets me the most is knowing that everybody knows who you are. I don't think I'm dealing with that as good. And by that I mean like easy to spot, right? He's a soldier, she's a soldier, she's an army wife. And the reason why it's easy is because you are in an army base. I mean, I live in an army base. So if I go to the commissary, I am surrounded with nothing but military people. So that is what gets my anxiety to the next level. And you know, I try to avoid the commissary as much as possible, but there is days that I have to go, and I'm just like, go for what you need to and try not to make eye contact with anyone because it freaks me out. And I'm aware that this is the reason, because I could shop anywhere else off base and I'm like completely fine. There could be hundreds of people and I'm just like, I'm good, like, what's up? This next one is going to be, do you live on base or off base? I think I already mentioned this, but I live on base. This next one is, do you love traveling a lot or just do it because of your husband? I do like traveling. We both like traveling. I think, you know, I've always said that I would love to travel, but yes, because of my husband, you know, we did move to Texas and we now live in Germany. So because of him, we are stationed here, obviously. And if we didn't like traveling, then we wouldn't be going to all of these countries. So yes, I mean, that's a yes and yes to both of those. Not a military wife, but what phone plan service should we get when we arrive? So I don't think I'm a lot of help on that because I still have my stateside phone plan. I've had international unlimited everything for the past like 10 years. I've been paying $33. So I was like, I'm not changing my phone plan. I'm home most of the time where I'm connected to Wi-Fi. So that's usually when I talk to all of my family members. When I'm not home and I'm making calls, they do charge me 25 cents per minute. But who am I calling when I'm at the grocery store? Like, I'm calling no one unless I'm lost and I'm looking for Phoenix. But that's even less than a minute. So they charge me like 5 cents. But I mean, I still have unlimited data and text, so you know, it's no big deal for me. My husband obviously does use his phone for work a lot more when he's not home, when he's not connected to Wi-Fi, so he definitely needed a new service plan. He went with TKS. I believe there's only 2, T-Mobile, German T-Mobile, it's not the same as the States, and TKS. So he went with TKS. So I mean, he always has bomb service. I would recommend that. And I actually don't know how much he pays because, well, we don't share the same plan. But once you get here, I don't think it will be that difficult because you have a T-Mobile and a TKS at the PX, so you're able to figure it out on the spot. I do know that you have to open a German account to get TKS. I don't know if it's the same thing for T-Mobile, but for TKS, you have to open a German bank account. This next one is, do you work in Germany? Do you go to school? That is one huge firm no and no. This next one is, I live in Grafenwehr. What do you do to stay occupied while your husband's at work? So I clean and organize every single day throughout the day. I think that a lot of people don't think about closets, the tubs, your laundry room, storage room. Like, those are all huge things that also need attention, like for your home to be clean and organized. So it's not like I do them every single day. Like I'll clean the laundry room or the storage room or the freezer every single day, so I try and like spread those out throughout the week. I mean, obviously I do my regular cleaning every single day, but then there's all those little things that I try and spread out throughout the week. So that always keeps me busy, and I film videos and I edit them, and editing takes me a while, sometimes 3 to 6 hours, just depending on how long the video is. Also, I like to do small little DIY projects. I think those are always fun. This next one is living over here really worth it? Considering you're away from family for 3 to 4 years. I think worth it is a little too strong. I'm gonna say this, I don't think it's worth it. I think it's a once in a lifetime opportunity, and if you get to do it, it's amazing. It's an awesome experience. But the way that I see this, because I am a huge family person, if something was to ever happen to my mom or dad, ni lo quiera Dios, and I'm over here, I don't think I would ever forgive myself for having the choice of living over here and not spending, you know, their last few days with them. Like, ugh, heartbreaking. So that's where I say I don't think it's worth it if you're a huge family person, because reality, they're not always going to be there. So, you know, you want to spend as much time with them as possible. But for the people who aren't family people and, you know, you don't really see your parents as often or your siblings, and you're okay with it, then, you know, moving across the world wouldn't be a big deal and it would be worth it for you. This next one is, have you been to Coburg yet? No, I haven't, but I've heard of it. And I know that it's under, I don't know, like 1.5 hours away from here. So I mean, Phoenix and I are always looking for day trips to do like new cities and new towns to try out on like a Saturday or something. So if you have any suggestions on what to do in Coburg, we might check it out within the next 365. This next one is, have you ever felt like giving up? Holy, just reading that. Absolutely. Not once, not twice, but multiple times. And by giving up, I mean giving up on Germany, living here in Germany, you know, completing all 3 years, like, and it's only been 1 year, but it's been a few times where I'm like, yo, I need to be home right now. And that's pretty much when I'm like homesick the most. And it's pretty much like every single holiday, birthdays, mom, dads, siblings, nieces and nephews, because I know that everyone is together and those are the memories that I live for. So major FOMO. This next one is, do military wives know each other and hang out? I feel like that's a yes and a no. Do all military wives know each other? Definitely not. But I mean, it depends on like where you're at. Like, we're stationed here in Grafenwehr, and there's actually another army base that's only 20 minutes away that is Besos, and often both of those are put together. So there's a few army wives Grafenwehr and Besos pages on Facebook, so that's where you're able to meet all of these army wives. So I mean, it just depends on you. If you want to hang out with all these other army wives, and all you gotta do is ask them, and if they say yes, then boom. So I guess it is pretty easy, but do we all know each other? No. This next one is, how do you cope with a long distance relationship? Honestly, I feel like this just has to do with depending on what your significant other does. Like, Phoenix is hardly ever away. I mean, I've been with him throughout his whole military career. And the last time he was deployed was over 4 years ago, so I don't really remember. I mean, there's been like small TDYs and like a few times that he's gone out to the field or school and all of that, and I always go back home, honestly. And me being with my family, I guess, just makes it a lot easier. But I do know that when I do that, after like 2-3 days, I'm already like, okay, I want to go back home because I miss him. But because it's not as often, I guess I really don't have to deal with that problem as much. This next one is, I'm from LA, I'm planning to move to Berlin. Would it be worth it, and how's the weather? I love the weather here. I'm from Arizona. It is a desert. We never ever get snow where I'm from, so I actually enjoy how cold it gets. Like, I'm just like, yes, bring it on. So the weather here to me is different, and I like that. I love the snow. The landscape here is amazing, so when it snows, and everything is also really green, another thing that I don't see back home. So just the weather being so different, I love. But would it be worth it? I mean, it depends. Like, what are you doing? Are you trying to come to school? Is it for a job? Like, do you have it all set up? If so, I would definitely do it. I mean, there's nothing like having the experience of living here. I think it's absolutely incredible. I mean, there's a lot of people that come out here just for school and love it so much and end up staying. Honestly, I love Germany. If I had my entire family here, this would be it, just because it's beautiful out here. This next one is it or was it easy for you to find friends abroad? I mean, I don't go to school or work, so I feel like all of my existing friends I made from school or work, and I feel like that's pretty much how you get to meet people. You know, you're like required to spend time with people. You start noticing that you guys share the same interests, so that's how you guys become friends, and then you basically keep them around if you want to. So because I'm not going to school or working here, I'm not really meeting new people. This next one is, any chance your husband wants to get a civilian job and move back home, asking for a friend? Honestly, I don't, yeah, basically it all depends on Phoenix if he wants to make this a career. If he does, then we're looking at another 15-ish years for this to happen, for me to move back home. Okay, and finally, last one is, how is it to be a military wife in general? So honestly, it is hard. I mean, it also depends how you want to look at it. As much as there is to be thankful for, like all of the benefits, because there's a lot of benefits that you get, but at the end there's a lot that, you know, you have to let go of, that you have to change, that you have to adjust to. Holy, this makes me super emotional just because of the situation that I'm in right now. I'm in Germany, I'm away from my family, so let's put aside all of the benefits and, you know, just focus on what it's like to be a military wife. And, you know, it gets real. Like, your life revolves around the army. But, you know, for a lot of people, it's not this way. Like, they are home and they're involved with the army, so like it just works out. So there's definitely hundreds of ways to look at this. But for myself, how is it to be a military wife in general? It's hard AF. If I was back home, you know, I would be seeing things a little bit different, but because this is me living in Germany and me being away from my family and, you know, living abroad for 1 entire year, everything that comes with it, everything that I have experienced here, this is how I feel right now. Okay, I am ending today's video right here. I do want to give out a shout out, and today's shout out goes out to Love Kana. Shout out to you, and if any one of you guys will also like a shout out, all you have to do is make sure to be subscribed and comment anything your big ol' heart desires. I love you guys all. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a huge thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not subscribed to join the Raya family, and I will see you guys soon.